Significant figures. Significant figures, or sig figs, help scientists and students alike figure out what numbers and digits within a measurement are actually meaningful. So when it comes to determining the significant figures in a number, or sig figs, you go by 3 rules. Rule number 1, all non-zero numbers are significant. Which makes sense because our measurements deal with numbers, so if we measure something that isn't a zero, obviously, that has some meaning to it. So an example is, if I were to measure a beaker of water, and I found it had 55 milliliters in it, both of those numbers are significant because they were both measured. The tricky part, though, comes with dealing with zeros, because sometimes zeros just hold a place and sit there and look pretty. Other times, they actually are a measurement. So, the second rule is called the sandwich rule. All zeros sandwiched between two non-zeros, or excuse me, two significant figures are also significant. So there's a couple examples. A simple one is, if you have a larger graduated cylinder and you measure 202 milliliters, that zero in the middle is significant because it's sandwiched by two significant figures. The 2's, according to rule number 1, are significant, which makes the zero in the middle significant. This also occurs and can occur over a decimal. So if you have, let's say, 2.02 milliliters, that sandwich can bridge the gap of that decimal, and again, all the numbers are significant. So in each case, there are 3 sig figs here, 3 sig figs here. So significant figures are called sig figs for short, or I shorten them to SF. The last rule is called the trailing zero rule. This basically says, in a decimal, the last zero, the farthest right trailing zero in a number is significant. So, trailing zero rule. Again, the last zero at the end of a decimal is significant. And here's how. So if we have, for example, a measurement like 2.00, that zero is significant because we measured to that degree of accuracy. We measured all the way out to the hundredth place. And this also encompasses rules 2 and 1. So in 1, this is a non-zero digit, so it is significant. And that then sandwiches the middle zero, making them all 3 significant figures. So the trailing zero rule, all you do is look for the zero all the way at the end of a number, has to be the farthest right, nothing else can be after it, and that's when this rule occurs. So you could have a number like this, 3.01003655, must end in a trailing 0 at the end to be significant. So in this case, again as an example, all of these digits in this decimal are significant. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 in total. So to wrap it up, there's just 3 rules that come to figuring out significant figures. The first one, if we look back up top, it's called, sorry I can't figure out how to get up top. So first one, all non-zero numbers are significant. That makes sense because that's definitely a measurement. The sandwich rule, where a 0 is sandwiched between 2 significant figures, and the trailing 0 rule. So the last 0 in a number is significant. And these all tell you how good and how precise your measurement is.